Welcome. This is going to be our Unit 7 review. So I'm going to go through and I will do the odds on the review, and then you guys will be responsible for doing the evens. So the first part here, it says determine whether the side lengths given would create an acute, right, or obtuse triangle. So we have to do a squared plus b squared, and we compare it to c squared. So remember, if c squared is the big one, then it's obtuse. If c squared is small, then it is acute. And if they are equal, it is a right triangle. All right, so we look here. C is our longest side, so the 20, that's our C. So we'll do 12 squared plus 17 squared. Okay, and we'll just type that in our calculator. So 12 squared plus 17 squared. That's 433. Okay, then we have to do 20 squared, which again, if you calculate that, you get 400. So we look at our c squared. 400 is smaller, so this is an acute. This is an acute triangle. Okay, number 3. 9, 15, 12. Okay, 15 is biggest, so that's our C. So 9 squared plus 12 squared. So 81 plus 144. That's 225. And then 15 squared is also 225. They are equal, so this is a right triangle. Okay, next. We have 17, 9, 12. 17 is the longest, so that's our C. So 9 squared plus 12 squared. Again, we did that one before, so 225. And then 17 squared, it's, I think, 289. Yes, 289. C squared is bigger, so this is obtuse. All right, like I said, I'm doing the odds. So I'll do number 7 with you guys. It says find the value of b, leave in simplest radical form if necessary. Okay, first you have to look at your angles. This is a 30, 60, 90. So we have x, 2x, and x square root 3. That's your formulas, which are on your formula chart. So we have to find b. All right, so x is 5. Well, this long side is x square root 3, so it's just 5 square root 3. I'll even do a bonus here. We'll find a as well. We'll just do 2 times 5, and that's 10. All right, question 9. It says Lou the lumberjack is cutting down a tree. He is cutting the tree 3 feet above the ground. The tree falls as shown. How tall was the tree? Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so they don't give us any angles on this except for the 90s. We have to do Pythagorean Theorem. And so we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So this is our a, that's our b, that's our c. So 3 squared plus 30 squared equals 909, I believe. Yes. And that's c squared. So c squared is 909. But notice this is labeled c, not c squared, so you have to take the square root. So take our square root of 909, and we get, and it says round to the nearest tenth, so around here. So we get 30, and it says 0.14. So look at the 4. That's not going to make the 1 go up, so it's just 30.1. So that is this part here. Now it says, how tall was the tree? So that means how tall was the tree before it was cut down. So what you got to do is take the part that's been cut down and add the part that was standing up still, and then you'll get it. So 30.1 plus 3, 33.1 feet. There we go. 11. Find the value of x by using special right triangle formulas. Leave your answer in simplest radical form. Okay, this is a 45, 45, 90. So our two sides are the same. So this one over here is also 20. And remember, your hypotenuse is that leg times the square root of 2. So 20 times square root 2, which y'all is just 20 square root 2, and that's it. Question 13. Use special right triangles to find the value of x and y in simplest radical form. Okay, this time they've given us the hypotenuse. Remember, your hypotenuse is across from that right angle. And so your hypotenuse, 26, that's x times the square root of 2. Now, don't get it confused with x over here or whatever, okay? It's the leg times the square root of 2. So remember, like I told you guys, when you want to go from the hypotenuse back to the leg, you have to divide by square root 2. So 26 over square root 2, well, you have to rationalize this radical here in the denominator. So you can use the trick I showed you. Put 26, and you put the square root 2 up top, and put the 2 on the bottom, and then you look. Can I divide 26 by 2? Yes, you can. It's 13, and then you put that square root 2. That's it. Question 15. The perimeter of a square is 544 inches. Okay, automatically, stop right there. Draw your square. Perimeter is 544. Step 1 is to always divide by 4. So take 544, divide by 4, and you get 136. So the sides of your square are 136 inches. Okay, what is the length of the diagonal? All right, now draw in your diagonal. And remember, when you cut the square on a diagonal, it makes a 45, 45, 90. So our two legs are the same. And that diagonal, you just take the leg and put square root 2 behind it. And you're done. Question 17, solve for x. Round to the nearest tenth if needed. Okay, do we see any angles here besides the 90? No, so that tells us Pythagorean Theorem. And we label A, B, and C. So a squared, which is x, so x squared plus b squared, that's 12 squared, is equal to c squared, so 13 squared. Okay, x squared is just x squared. 12 squared is 144, and 13 squared is 169. Subtract. Remember, whenever they give you the hypotenuse, you're always going to be subtracting. So you get x squared. If you do 169 minus 144, you get 25. And then your last step is to square root. So x is 5. All right, number 19. It says, find the value of x and y, round to the nearest tenth if needed. All right, this is a 45, 45, 90. They give us our hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is x square root 2. So just look here. X, that's 9. So both of your legs here, they're both 9. So x is equal to y, and they're both 9. Oh, and I guess I need to say that on this one up here, both here x and y, they're both 13 square root 2, because this is a 45, 45, 90. So they're both the same. All right. Question 21. How tall is the tree? Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, how tall is the tree here? This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. They give us the hypotenuse because it's across from the 90. And then here, the 30, this is your short side. You look at the 30 and you go across, and that's your short side. So how do I go from the hypotenuse to the short side? Your short side is the hypotenuse divided by 2. So 120 divided by 2, it's going to be 60. All right, 23. The kite string is 100 feet. Okay, this is the string. It's 100 feet. How far is the kite from the ground? Okay, y'all, this is a 45, 45, 90. They tell us the hypotenuse here because it's across from that right angle. So whenever you have the hypotenuse and you need to get the leg, you divide by square root 2. And you got the square root 2 in the bottom, rewrite it up top. You can put a 2 down below. Check to see, can you divide 100 by 2? Yes. So it's 50 square root 2. There you go. Question 25. Find the value of x, leave in simplest radical form. Check, look at our angles. We have a 60 here, so we know this is 30. This is a 30, 60, 90. So this is our short side, okay? And they've given us the hypotenuse. So now how do you go from from hypotenuse to short? We divide by 2. So take 14, divide by 2, and you get 7. That's x. Question 27, the last one I'm going to do with you guys here, is find the value of x and y, leave in simplest radical form. Okay, 30, 60, 90. This is my short side. So my hypotenuse, I just take 9 times 2, so that's 18. And then for the longer side, I just take 9 and put the square root 3 behind it, and then we are done. Alright guys, so that's all. I'm going to go through and I'm going to complete the evens, and I will leave the answers for you guys. I will put them at the end of the video here, and I'll scroll through, but then I'll also put the key up on Canvas. So, see you guys later.